Hey, what's poppin', y'all? It's Kabaddi Keenan back with another video, and today we are going over the Bengal Warriors, who made the second biggest purchase in this year's auction by getting Devank Dalal at what, 2.205 crore, something like that. So he was the second most expensive player behind Shadlu, and yeah, they went out and went big to get their big raider, who was the number one raider from last season with 303 raid points, which was pretty crazy, coming out of nowhere with the Patna Pirates. So yeah, they went out and got him, which I cannot be mad at them for that, because the Bengal Warriors did not do so great last season. Not to say that they did poorly. They were a team that I think didn't live up to their potential. So they went out to get a younger, I will say, version of Maninder Singh, who was their talisman, the face of their franchise for so many seasons. He won a championship with them back in season 7, and he was just a person who I think whenever you thought of the Bengal Warriors, he was the first person that came to mind, and with good reason. I mean, he's a striking raider and has been for so many years within the PKL, so to have to let go of him, which I don't think was a bad decision, because you could tell last season that he just didn't have it in him as much as he used to, sort of like Pardeep Narwal. So I think Maninder is getting to that age and that point in his career where this season might be his last season. He's with the Patna Pirates now, but I kind of get the sense that this might be his last season. So for the Bengal Warriors to have to part ways with him, while yes, sad, because I would have liked to see him finish his career with them, I understand it. So they went out and got Devank Dalal, the number one raider from last season, to bolster that offense, which already has Vishwash and Shasil Kambrakar, who I really, really like. I know he had his ups and downs last season, but I believe last season was his rookie season. So I think with that, while yes, there was other people who came out their rookie season and had a better, year than he had, I think he shows a lot of promise if he can be a little bit more consistent, which I think if he's given a little bit more playing time, because I feel like he was kind of off and on the mat a lot last season. Not because he got tackled or anything. I just feel like he just wasn't playing as much as he could have and maybe should have been playing, just to get used to and get those reps in as a rookie. And you just have to live and die with the mistakes that he makes, and that's where the coaching comes in to sort of teach him and so he can learn from his mistakes. So he was very much up and down, but I think it was because he didn't get as much playing time, and hopefully that changes this season, where he's sort of given free reign and they sort of trust in him more, or they just want to really build upon him, and he can really be that number 2 raider behind Devank. Maybe they can be, kind of like how Devank was with Ayan Lochan with the Patna Pirates last season. Hopefully that can be the same situation for the Bengal Warriors, where you got Devank and Sushil Kambrakar, who were leading the charge offensively alongside Vishwash. So I think offensively they could be a pretty dangerous team, and that's solely reliant on Devank repeating what he did last season, which I don't know if anyone can expect him to score over 300 raid points, because that's a lot for any player of any caliber to do in any season. So I think to expect him to score over 300 raid points is probably a bit much, but if he can get back in that 250 to 270 range, I think that's what they're looking for, and that's obvious. That's what they're paying for. That's why they paid so much for him, is so that he can be one of the leading raiders in the league, if not the lead raider again. And so I think if he can sort of repeat what he did last season, and if Sushil Kambrakar can step his game up and be a little bit more consistent, I think he could be a real breakout. I think he kind of broke out a little bit, but because he was so inconsistent, I think that's what held him back. So if he can clean that up a little bit, I think he's going to be really good. And along with Vishwash, I think those three are going to be the clear top 3 raiders for them. They got a Himanshu as well, which that's great. That's like 2 videos now in a row where there's like so many Himanshus. I didn't realize, is that a popular name in India? I had no clue. I'd never heard it before, to this level. But I'm seeing this name all over the place now, and I'm kind of curious as to what area. I feel like this is sort of like a regional name as well, so I'm kind of curious as to where at within India this name is very popular. So they got him as well, and Jankung Lee, who is, the famous Korean Kabaddi player. Hopefully he can really come in and aid and provide some depth in the rating category for them. Defensively, they weren't able to do too much because they spent so much money on Devank, and I think they had a lower purse than a lot of teams going into the auction. So I don't think they had that much money to spend, and they blew a lot of it on Devank. So they weren't really able to get too many defensive people, but they were able to retain Nitesh Kumar and Mayur Kadam, who I really like. Mayur Kadam. I think those two are going to be the two, obviously, to hold them down. So we'll see how they do defensively. I think that's going to be an area of struggle for them. Yeah, their all-rounders aren't really much to speak on, but at least I'm not familiar with their all-rounders. They have only two listed here, which are Shivansh Thakur and Mulchandra Singh. So I'm not familiar with these players. If you know anything about them, please, add your commentary in the comments below. But they're all-rounders, really not much to speak on unless I'm just unfamiliar with them, which very much could be the situation. And defensively, I think is where they're going to struggle. Offensively, obviously, is where they have the most upside. They could be one of the most dangerous teams offensively, in all honesty, this season. I wouldn't be surprised if if the Bengal Warriors end up being one of the top scoring teams rating wise within the league. I could totally see that for them. Again, this is completely dependent upon Devank and Shashil and Vishwas. I'm excited about this team because I'm hoping that they kind of do the opposite of what they did last year, where again last year I felt like they performed below average and didn't live up to expectations or live up to what I thought they could have been last season. So I'm hoping that this year they sort of exceed expectations and play above the bar that I think people are expecting for them. I think they could be a surprise team, a bit of a dark horse. So we'll see. I'm excited about them. Again, I'm just really I'm curious to see how Devank performs off the heels of a breakout season, and I'm really excited about Shashil Kambrakar. He's one of my favorite young players in the league right now. So I'm really hoping that he can step it up. But I'm really excited about this team this season just to see how they do, because I think they're this sort of wild card team that I think every season you're kind of coming in with a few teams where it's like, I'm not sure what they're going to do. And I think this is one of them. And I think they could surprise a lot of people. They could very well disappoint, but I think they could surprise, and I'm hoping for that more so than the disappointment. So I'm excited about the Bengal Warriors. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will catch y'all in the next one.